information for business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, and nonprofit professionals. Each day since March of 2020, this program has offered that one thing to help you continue on your own unique pathway to success. And now, Renegades, we bring you Bob Graham and Tom Brush.
Hey, Tom. Happy Tuesday to you.
Happy Tuesday to you as well, Bob.
Even though you're dressed like it's Monday.
Well, you know, sometimes I have to get up in a rush and throw on the same shirt. Or sometimes we have conflicts, and so we have to record it.
There you go.
What they think it actually is. Be a good poll question. Did we record it, or did the two knuckleheads just wear the exact same shirts 2 days in a row?
That's it. Put your comment.
Put your comment in. Share your answer in the comments, please.
Recorded or knuckleheads. Or you could put them together and be recorded knuckleheads.
Could be both. I want the and option, not the or option.
Okay.
All right, Bob. So it is Tuesday morning, and this is today's Antidote as we get together every day to talk through a topic. And then through that topic, we try to come up with not only some thoughts and ideas, but also an antidote, the antidote, or today's antidote, as you will. You may use it today. You may not use it until later, but hopefully you will find that it impacts what's real for you and that you are able to use this at some point to take your next step, to help you move forward along your own unique pathway to success. As we go along, we also know that while we have thoughts and ideas around this, we know you do as well. And your thoughts and ideas in the comments add to what we're trying to do, which is add value to our community. So please feel free to put your thoughts in the comments. And at the end of the show, if you have one thing that you'd like to share, your antidote, please feel free to put it in the comments as well, because we know that it will help someone. Maybe not today, but somewhere down the road, it will impact what's real for someone else. So that all being said, let's now dive into the most important part of every show, or it has become the most important part of every show. What are we celebrating today, Bob? That's it.
We got two choices today, Tom.
Well, it's interesting. I hadn't really ever thought about this. So I'm going to interrupt for 1 second.
Please.
You know, what we do with all of every time we do a laser solution session with someone, what's the first thing we do?
We celebrate.
We ask them what they're celebrating. We are in the middle of, in the Ring of Renegades Facebook group, the Summer of Celebration, where we are, I like that. After 16, 18 months of challenging times through the pandemic, we felt like this was a great opportunity to use this summer to talk about what we were celebrating. And I hadn't ever really thought of this in this way. And every day we start this show off by you sharing whatever the registry is, it shares what's the national holiday. So it is a celebration of itself. So just like
not a holiday, a national day calendar. It's just a national day. It's not always a holiday.
But it's a celebration, correct?
Correct. It's a celebration.
It's a celebration.
I've got two choices today, Tom. I can't decide between the two. First of all, it's National S'more Day. Ooh. You know, the graham cracker with the marshmallow and the chocolate. Do you like dark or?
Dude,
you
who doesn't know what a s'more is? Who doesn't know what a s'more is, honestly?
There's probably someone.
Okay.
Or it's also National Lazy Day.
That's an easy choice.
And because we recorded this, Tom, and you told me you might sleep late, you might be right into National Lazy Day.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen. So I like National S'more Day. Maybe it'll be bonfire tonight.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So all of you out there who aren't really sure what you want to do today, there is a way to put a goal at the end of your day. If you achieve everything you set out to achieve today, treat yourself. Celebrate it with a bonfire and a s'more.
Or my wife makes them in the toaster oven.
Okay.
In winter, she makes them in the toaster. They are yummy. Yeah.
All right. It's not quite the same as the atmosphere and watching.
Better than nothing.
And you probably don't get all the black burn marks on the
No, you don't.
All right. Anyhow, well, that is always one of my fears. is that I will burn the marshmallow and it won't be the same. Or worse, it falls off of the stick. And
That's the embarrassing thing. Yes.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Don't want to be that guy.
Right. So there are fears all around us, correct? And we've been talking about that a little bit. Yesterday, we talked a little bit about follow-up fear, and that's our topic for the week. And through that conversation, one of the things we started to get into a little bit, which changed what we were going to talk about today. The thought of so often the fear is of what could happen that we would look at as negative. Some people might say that in our follow-up, it's a failure. But no, and
you hit a button.
I mistakenly hit a button that I didn't realize had an impact on the screen. So I won't do that again. But there also is another fear that could be in there that we sort of uncovered yesterday, is the fear of success. What if it does do what we thought it would do? What if we are able to have success through the follow-up? What would that look like? And so we thought that would be a good conversation for today as we continue our conversation about follow-up and have that conversation about ultimately do you fall in the camp of it's a fear of, let's just call it, now, even though I don't like the word, failure or lack of success, or is it a fear of success that maybe holds you back from doing the follow-up you need to in a way to have the desired results you want? What are your thoughts on some of that, Bob?
My thoughts are, Tom, that you were going to coach me through this. So let's get right to it, because that's more fun than me talking.
Okay.
And we haven't done this in a while, as you pointed out to me earlier today. So
it's time for Bob to get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
All right. So let's dive in. Okay, Bob, you said yesterday a little bit that for you, it's the fear of success.
Mm-hmm.
What would happen if all these people responded and you had all this new business coming in? So talk with us a little bit about why that's an issue for you.
So the fears for me about success are wrapped around more the money issue. Not can I do the work? I think I have a pretty good feeling that I can do the work, that I can figure out how to get things done. I'm pretty resourceful, and I've got a network of people. So it's a small concern, but not a big one. The bigger concern to me is that if I make more money, I will be different. I will treat people differently. I will be different. And the people around me will treat me differently because he has money. And I think this fear, I think, goes back to my childhood. We were taught to work hard. We were taught that you made a certain amount of money, and that, I think we were probably middle class. And there was never any observation or any suggestion of moving above that. That was the line in the sand. And I think as I've gotten older, I realized how powerful how you were raised is in how you look at the world and how you see opportunities. And I'm afraid of success because success takes me into a place in my family that no one's ever been. It's got implications, good implications. Don't get me wrong. It would be nice to have enough money for my retirement plan. That would be really great right about now. But I also worry about, what if I make enough money to go buy the beach house I've rented the last couple of years? What if I make enough money to be able to go out to play golf, join a golf club? There are lots of things that I've dreamed of doing that I haven't had the money to do. And I wonder if those things, if I joined a golf club, would I become changed by that experience in a negative way?
So in some regards, you're relating success
Mm-hmm.
to the accumulation of wealth.
Yes. That's how my mind sees it. Yes.
Are there other ways to define success?
Yes. Having a bigger impact on people, on the world.
Okay.
Which is an important one to me, but that one doesn't scare me. That one excites me. The money one scares me.
So here's a question. Aren't they at odds?
In my head, they are.
Well, correct. How can you serve more people and not accumulate more wealth? Unless you choose to do it for free, which you could choose to do.
Right. I don't recommend that.
So you are saying you want to help more people.
Yes.
You don't recommend doing it for free, and you're worried about having more money. I don't know how you do that then.
Well, but therein is my mind playing tricks with me, right?
Well,
I'm setting the game pieces in a way that I can't win. And if I don't win, that makes it easy because I know what it's like not to make a whole lot of money. I know what it's like not to, I was going to say not to have a huge impact, but I don't know if I know that. But there's a status quo that I can plod along in, and it's safer. It feels safer.
Doesn't sound like a renegade.
I think that's the challenge of a renegade. A renegade would say, "Bring it on."
Sure. Well, here's another question: how do people know that you have wealth?
They know. I mean,
Who knows? Could you live in the
telling you
same
you're
house?
independently wealthy and we still don't have polo shirts, Tom?
It's a fair question. My fear is that if we have polo shirts, people will think that I have independent wealth and or that we've just made a ton of money and that it will change the way they look at us. So that's my question. Could you, if you bought a beach house, would people think that you have wealth?
Yes.
What if you sold this house to get that house?
No. I bought a Mini Cooper 6 or 7 years ago, and they're not that expensive. And I took a lot of ridicule for that from people. Like, oh, you're having midlife crisis. Oh, you must be rich. Obviously, they don't know what the cost of a Mini Cooper is.
Well, what if their perception was, you're a tall guy who decides to get the smallest car out there? Well, almost.
Valid.
My cars are small. So maybe it wasn't about wealth. Maybe it was about the perception of tall guy in small car. So maybe are you potentially imposing on others the feelings you have about wealth? It seems like you believe that having a Mini Cooper indicates wealth. Because
no, I'm saying people perceived it that way. I didn't perceive it that way.
Did they say that you have more money?
Yeah, a couple of people like, wow, you must be doing really well to have a Mini Cooper. I was like, what?
Okay.
It actually costs less than my Honda Pilot.
And do what they think really matters?
Well, this is a bigger issue. We do not have enough time to tackle that one.
But that's the issue, right?
Right. Yeah, I think that is the issue behind all of this. I think our minds play games with us because we're worried about what other people think or feel or act or say behind our backs. I think that's what often gets us not to follow up is we have that fear that what if I call my sister-in-law's friend and she tells my sister-in-law, he's such a jerk.
So?
Right. I'd like to say it doesn't matter to me, but I haven't gotten there yet.
Why?
I have no idea, Tom.
Who creates?
Not for not trying.
Do you feel like you have your own unique pathway to success?
I feel like I have my own unique pathway. The to success part, I have days when I worry about that.
Is that because you've equated success with wealth?
I think what I've equated success to is not knowing what the heck I'm doing. So it would be like I play a little golf.
Yeah.
If I were to be in a golf tournament, I've never done that. I would have no idea how to be in that tournament, even though my understanding is those tournaments are the same 18 holes and you have to do the same thing. Hit the ball till you put it in the cup, hit the ball till you put it in the cup, do it 18 times, and then you're done. So even though I know golf, I'm not good, but I do know golf, and the mechanics would be the same. If you said, hey, this is a statewide tournament, winner gets $10,000, I would feel completely incapable of managing that situation.
Okay. What would you do then to do it?
Probably tell a lot of jokes.
Okay, that's one option. What's another option to deal? So, having never done it,
Hmm.
you have no knowledge, no firsthand knowledge, experience, or perspective about playing in a golf tournament, correct?
Hmm.
So, how might you find that?
Ask you again. I'm sorry. I totally checked out.
If you have no knowledge, experience, or perspective of playing in a golf tournament,
Hmm.
like many of us do in some aspects of our business,
Hmm.
how could you change that?
I guess do it. Try it and see what happens.
That's one way. What's another way?
Read about it.
That's another way. What's another way?
Ask other people who have done it.
Ah, interesting.
Maybe even get a coach.
Even more interesting. Because you don't have the only way you're going to gain knowledge, experience, and perspective is to do those three things.
Hmm.
Do it, just do it, and understand that the results are going to be what they are. Now, one other thing I think is in there is that you have to post a score that others are going to see. And that means they might judge you on your performance. And that judgment might be more of a hindrance to you doing it than just being uncertain of what it's like.
Okay. Makes sense.
So what happens if you just went and did it? Or found someone who could talk you through how you could at least manage it?
Well, I think that's how we ultimately have to tackle anything. And business is the same way. As I've moved forward in my business life, I've tried in the last couple of years to really surround myself with people who help me figure things out, help me move forward, including you.
Okay.
And don't allow me to fall into the traps that I've fallen into in the past.
Okay. So let's go back to your original thing. Your fear of success.
Yes.
I would ask you, how do you define success?
I think I would say achieving a goal that exceeds what you can imagine.
Truly, is that what you believe? Or is that what you think is the right answer?
Okay, the gloves are off now. Tom in my face. I don't know what the answer is.
That therein may lie the challenge. I think that from our conversation, wealth and success have some sort of equation there. One equals the other. You can't have one
In
without
me,
the
you
other.
mean?
Correct.
In how I see it.
And how you see it. Because clearly that fear of success, as you shared, meant that you may have more wealth. If you may have more wealth, it either would change you or it would change how people look at you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one you can control, right?
Yes.
You can control whether it changes you or not. The second one you have no control over.
Correct.
So they are going to make their own decisions based on what they see as real. So why do we worry about that?
Well, I think it's just the way we make sure that we don't achieve more, and don't get uncomfortable, is to find excuses to stay comfortable doing what we already know.
Or we redefine success.
Right.
And what that equates to. What if wealth did not equate to success? Had nothing to do with it. It might
probably
be
doesn't either.
Well, for some, it depends on how you define it. You have the ability to define success how you want, just like everyone else. Success could be, how many people have I helped today?
Right.
And you know what? The more people, it just so happens that the more people I help, the more revenue I generate, which could mean I have more wealth. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help more people. And if we look at it in that way, it's about the action, just like with follow-up. If the follow-up stops being about what are the end results, are they important? Do they matter? Sure. Because ultimately, if you want to keep a business, you have to generate some revenue, which means you have to make some sales, which means you have to do all those things. And that doesn't have to be the driving factor. And again, as we've talked about before, you don't control that. All you can control are the actions that you take, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if the only thing you can control is, I want to help more people, that's your goal. All right. How do I find more people to help? One way is following up, correct?
Absolutely.
And
Man, you make me want to go make calls now.
you've changed what success looks like.
Mhm.
Now it seems like it's something that is really valuable to you. You have placed a
Mhm.
much higher priority on helping others than on another result, which is generating revenue. Now, one could be the same as the other. Some people might be like, you know what, I really want to generate revenue. That's important to me. Okay. One of the results of that is you might help more people.
Right.
And, if generating more revenue isn't helpful to you because you worry about the consequences of that, then focus on the other success. How can you help more people? And then you don't worry about what is the revenue that'll happen. Because you likely can't help more people. As you said, you wouldn't recommend doing it for free. So if you help more people, what's the likelihood that you are going to generate more revenue? Oh, by the way, this is what it is.
Right. And folks, what you've just seen, believe it or not, is an unscripted coaching session that Tom just did with me. None of this was
Cut it off?
scripted except for the beginning question.
Are you trying to cut this off because you're getting uncomfortable?
Yeah, And if it's something that you like and you think it would help your business, we've got a way for you to do that.
Before we go to that,
Okay.
because this is the most important thing. I think it's the most important. What's the next step for you?
I think it's writing down somewhere prominent that my goal is to help more people and to really see that each day and really internalize that.
What's the other thing you could do?
I got nothing.
What has your goal previously been? You talk about it all the time.
Buy a beach house?
Stop thinking about that.
Okay.
That could be an end result. The only way you are going to get the beach house, which can be, okay, that's my long-term goal. My immediate goal is how do I help more people? And if you stay focused on how do I help more people, that's your next step. That actually might not be the next step. It's probably another step. That the end result might be, if you choose, and that's still important to you, is you can get a beach house. But that is not the focus anymore.
Right.
The focus now is about how do I help more people? And what I would say is, let's go deeper. What is your next step?
Well, I think it's follow up with the people I already know because they are the ones that I can help most easily.
When?
I guess later this week.
And how many?
20.
Okay. By when?
End of day Friday.
And what is the actual action that you are going to measure that by?
I'll reach out to 20. I want to talk to at least 5. Actually have a discussion with 5.
Okay.
It is August.
Well, and which action of those do you control?
The first one, not the second.
And I firmly believe that when we think about goals, that goals should be based on actions that we can control. Right. Not that we can't have other numbers we can't think about, and that we hope that as a result of these actions, this is what it will achieve. Your goal, which would be your next step, based on what you said, if I'm rephrasing this correctly, is to reach out to 20 people that you know and that you think you might be able to help. How does that sound?
Aggressive, but doable.
Okay. So it's a challenge, right? It's a little bit of a challenge. It's not like an easy thing. It might be a little bit. How are you going to celebrate when you do that?
I've got a really nice bottle of bourbon that I haven't opened yet. Okay. I'd like to try that. I've been waiting for a good occasion to try that. So maybe Friday evening.
Okay. Are you comfortable sharing your progress towards that in the Ring of Renegades?
I am. I will.
Okay. So now that
am I allowed to get a head start because it's technically Monday afternoon? Can I start calling some of those 20 now? Because I'm really jazzed up to do it.
yeah, why not? Why
Okay.
wouldn't you?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And do you think that if you're able to accomplish that and you're able to help more people, that will be more important than worrying about what people think about how much money you have or revenue you generate?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool. Now, then we've gone through the whole process, created the next step, and how we're going to celebrate. Now talk about what you were going to talk about.
So, folks, what we've just done here, and I swear it was not scripted. You probably could tell that, but I just want to make sure you're clear. That's what a typical laser solution session looks like. There's a topic. Usually the person brings a topic to it. And then Tom or I, whoever they choose, and sometimes people use one or the other of us, depending on the situation. Sometimes they have a favorite and they keep using that one. However you want to work it, but you get to have a 15, 20-minute discussion with us where we explore whatever's going on. Help you first start with the celebration, go into a discussion, find a resolution, and then next steps. And notice one of the key things that I think about it that people often are surprised by, Tom did not tell me at any point what to do. He guided me. He did not solve the problem. That's not the goal of a laser solution session, for you to get someone to solve your problem for you. That's a different thing altogether. What Tom and I want to do is help you explore something, because often, as you saw in the case with me, there was a much deeper meaning to the situation. Now, I will tell you, I've been blessed enough over the last year and a half, and maybe even further back before we called it laser solution sessions, to have Tom always be there to support me. It has been invaluable to my business, invaluable to me personally. I did not expect when we started this 27 minutes ago that I would be excited to make calls, follow-up calls this afternoon. I was actually going to go hit some golf balls, but now I want to make calls. That's the power of the laser solution session. And I know exactly what Tom was doing. I do it all the time, and it still works. If you've never tried it, we have a way you can try. You can join our Renegade Success Network in our Find Your Renegade Way in 90 Days program. And over the next 3.5 months, you can have as many laser solution sessions as you choose. That's right. You could have one every other day for the next 100 days if you get in now. You could have one once a week. You could have one every other week. You could have one the first Tuesday of the month and the last Thursday of the month. Whatever floats your boat. But I will tell you this. If you're trying to achieve your results this year, if you're trying to get to the end of the year and do something that you said at the start of the year was important to you, and you're not there yet, I'm going to look you in the face right now and tell you, what do you think you're going to do between now and the end of the year that you haven't already tried? There's a point where you have to go outside of yourself. It's hard for me to say that. It's hard for me to accept help. It's hard for me to open up and share these things with someone like Tom. However, it's worth the pain. It's worth the squirming. It's worth the discomfort to get the result. If that's something you want to talk about, all you need to go is we'll put the link in there for you. You can go to Find Your Renegade Way in 90 Days on the RenegadeSuccessNetwork.com website, and you can join today. And if you join today in our 90-day program, we're going to give you the whole month of August, what's left of August. So you're talking 21 days extra at no additional cost. That's right. You get 21 extra days. You could be up and running first day, book the appointment. You could have 10, 15 laser solution sessions before the event even formally starts. It's there waiting for you. Did I miss anything, Tom?
Here's the thing I would share. The addition. No, I thought that was great. And I thought that it was well done and well explained. The other thing is what Bob and I did. If you take away the banter we had at the start and a little bit of what he did at the end, it lasted about 15 or 18 minutes. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the things that I think people are always surprised is you think, well, I need 50 minutes for a session, or someone else wants to have an hour session. And can those be valuable? Absolutely. because likely you'll dive into 3 or 4 topics that you're looking to explore. What we believe is that your time is valuable and that we want you to help you take the next step, so that in 15 minutes, we can help you figure out what that next step is. We went from, Bob just feeling like, okay, I want to reach out to more people, to I'm going to reach out to 20 people by the end of the week. And that's how I'm going to measure success. Because my goal is, my belief is if I reach out to 20, ultimately I'll be able to help more. Now, you might come to find that 20 is not enough because you only get so many responses that you can't control. So we just look at it and we'll reevaluate. We'll recycle through after you take that next step, understand what happened, and then make small adjustments to figure out, okay, what do we need to do next? What's the next step? So I hope that if that's something you think could be really valuable for you, we know it has been valuable for each of us and those of us who've been members of the Renegade Success Network, that we hope that you'll take part of this program. And as Bob said, there will be a link. You can sign up and be a part of it. So now, before we wrap up, Bob, what's your one thing? We didn't even do that.
My one thing is to not be afraid to explore what's really going on with your fears, because sometimes the results are surprising, as in the case for me right now, and they actually spark a new appreciation for something that I haven't always enjoyed, and that's making follow-up calls. So thank you for that, Tom.
Of course. And I'm going to go with, we titled this The Real Fear. And really that was about, is this fear of failure, fear of not having the success you want, or fear of success? Because those can play in. And what I will share is that for each of us, it's different. That's why we intentionally use the real fear. Because the fear that Bob has is maybe different than the fear that I have. And there are different underlying issues behind it, which is why some cookie cutter program isn't going to be the way that's going to help you move forward. Being able to look at what is your challenge and finding ways that you discover that will help you take the next step is what we're all about. Because we know that what's real for each of us is unique, which is what makes it all beautiful. And so we hope that you will find a way to share that. If you have something you'd like to share, either a comment or what your antidote is for follow-up fear, please feel free to put it in the comments, or you can share it inside the Ring of Renegades Facebook group. If you're not yet a member of the Facebook group, it is easy to join. Just go to Facebook, search for Ring of Renegades. Now, it is a private group. And because of that, and we created it that way so that people could share conversations. We were doing a thing in there today about follow-up and what were people's fear. There was a poll about it, and people were sharing things that I don't think they would want to share in the wide open public. These are things that we struggle with every day. And we want to make sure that there is a place where you can share that information and find some solutions to that. And whether those solutions come inside of the Ring of Renegades Facebook group, or you need more and you want to become a part of our Renegade Success Network and join the Find Your Renegade Way 90-day program, those options are there for you to consider. And we wanted to make sure they were available for you so that you can take the next step along your own unique pathway to success. So all you have to do is ask to join the Ring of Renegades Facebook group. Tell us why you're a renegade, and you can become a part of that growing community. So with that, we will wrap this session up, and I'll provide a little video with more information about the Ring of Renegades Facebook group. And we will see you either in the group, or we'll see you Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time, for our next edition of today's Antidote. Have a great day, everyone. We will see you soon. No closeout, Bob?
Oh, carving your own path is tough. You want and need a community to offer you insights and advice, share inspiration, provide support, and save you time and money. But where do you find all that? Here's the easy answer: the Ring of Renegades Facebook group, where leaders, entrepreneurs, and business owners identify their next steps. Here's some of what you will find at the Ring of Renegades Facebook group. Just go to ringofrenegades.com and join today. Find and accomplish those next